Jack Ribeiro nasceu bem no coração de Manhattan, não muito longe de onde hoje é chairman da área financeira da conhecida consultora Deloitte.
I live in an area which is now called, I used to live in an area which is now called Tribeca. And back then there were a lot of Portuguese people living in my area. And in fact, my entire building, which my father owned at the time, all of the tenants were Portuguese. And so I grew up until I was 5 years old. I only spoke Portuguese because I really didn't interact with people who weren't Portuguese. So I would say that when I was very young, my interaction was culturally driven, just totally Portuguese.
Nessa altura, a Baixa de Manhattan tinha outra configuração e havia muitos portugueses que fizeram dessa zona da cidade a sua residência.
We did have a very nice Portuguese club on Varick Street, which was about 4 blocks from my house. It was south of Houston, which is an area called Soho now. And it was a community club, a social club, where a lot of the men would go. They would have feasts, Portuguese feasts and parties, etc. But as a young adult, they would allow us to go to the club. It was a men's club predominantly, but they allowed the children to go there to play foosball, play billiards. And it was really a safe place to go in New York City, surrounded by, your Portuguese family and friends.
Uma infância passada junto da comunidade portuguesa. Só mais tarde, quando entrou na escola, aprendeu a língua do país que acolheu os seus pais.
My father came to the United States, worked construction, and then he came to Manhattan, and he got off the train in Penn Station. He was sitting at a coffee shop when he got off the train. He didn't know what he was going to do with his life, and he was 20 at the time. And he saw this man, the owner of this coffee shop, putting money into the cash register. And he says, this is a cash business, and maybe I should go into this business. Well, he worked hard in New York City, and 3 years later, he bought that coffee shop. And from then on, he was in the restaurant business for 30 years. So he was an uneducated person, meaning he didn't even speak English when he got here, but within 30 years later, he owned apartment buildings, and he owned restaurants, and he retired at the age of 50.
Jack viu no seu pai exemplo de como o trabalho é a essência do sucesso.
As I was growing up, I had a work ethic, just as my father taught me to how he had a work ethic and to survive and to succeed in life. And so that influenced me tremendously, and that's one of the reasons why when I was in high school, I got straight A's. It was one of the reasons why I think I was able to qualify for a scholarship at Pace University. And then I was able to, at least get into NYU and graduate with their MBA program.
Apesar de estar atualmente sediado em Nova York, antes esteve a trabalhar pelo mundo fora, vivendo 12 anos longe dos Estados Unidos.
I always had an international interest, and I'm probably one of the few partners in the firm who've actually lived abroad for 12 years. So I've lived in Australia, I've lived in Singapore, I lived in Hong Kong, I lived in Japan, and I transferred back in 2003 when I came back to lead our global financial services practice around the world in 2003, and I've been doing that now for 8 years.
Os portugueses têm impresso no seu ADN os genes dos descobrimentos que nos levaram aos 4 cantos do mundo.
A lot of the Portuguese people that I know, the fact that they export even coming to the United States, to go to Brazil, to other countries around the world, no matter where I travel, and I've traveled and I've been to 60 countries around the world over the last 10 years and multiple times in some of those countries, and I always find Portuguese people. I think, I've never really thought about it, but when you look at it and you say, are Portuguese people explorers? Do they tend to go out and travel the world? Do they enjoy doing it? I think the answer is probably yes. And so that was probably something that I didn't fear as a younger person because lots of my family members had traveled throughout their lives and careers.
A Deloitte é uma empresa que trabalha à escala global, tendo nos seus quadros mais de 170 mil trabalhadores espalhados por mais de 150 países.
Deloitte is a 30 billion plus revenue company around the world. We break up the company in many different layers, and it gets a little complex, but from an industry standpoint, we have 7 major industries. Financial services being one, which is the one that I'm chairman of. We have life sciences, which include healthcare. We have technology. We have manufacturing, etc. Financial services happens to be the largest part of Deloitte's operations. It represents about 25% of the firm's revenues, and this year GFSI, as I call it, which is Global Financial Services, will exceed $7.5 billion in revenues.
Jack Ribeiro, sendo chairman dos serviços financeiros da Deloitte, dirige mais de 30 mil profissionais desta empresa. Jack explicou-nos qual o papel desta multinacional.
We do auditing, tax, and a lot of advisory and consulting work to the financial services community. As an example, my clients that I'm an advisory partner currently include the Federal Reserve Bank in New York, Banco Santander from Spain, Mitsubishi United Financial Group from Japan, Charles Schwab, the Capital Group, and a whole host of other clients as well.
Há já 4 anos que Jack Ribeiro tem marcado presença no Fórum Económico Mundial, que se realiza todos os anos no mês de janeiro em Davos.
I was asked to become an advisor to what they call the Finance Governance Committee. The Finance Governance Committee represents about 60 major financial companies around the world where their chairmen or CEOs participate largely in private sessions to discuss the issues facing the financial services sector. And so I was asked to join and to be an advisor to that committee. And so for the last 4 years, I've been going to Davos, and I help set the agenda for the private sessions, and I sometimes lead discussions or not, but we coordinate and then try to determine how to best address what we see in the marketplace might be challenges for our industry.
Apesar desta iniciativa ser um fórum económico, esta organização sem fins lucrativos pretende ter uma abrangência maior do que o nome que o confina.
I think the forum is not just for business. It wants to open up to many different areas: human rights, advance of healthcare, to poverty, etc. So they have many, many different agendas, and sometimes bringing people in that have high visibility is a really good way to accomplish the goal. And some of that is just increasing the visibility of a major, massive problem that we have around the world. And I commend them for doing that. So, while I do specifically work from an industry perspective, I am in the general sessions, and I think that the way they've positioned themselves to really impact the world in a bigger way is really, really great.
Jack Ribeiro nasceu nos Estados Unidos, mas não se esquece das suas raízes portuguesas.
Even though I was born in America, my parents were very Portuguese. In fact, I'm 100% Portuguese. And, so I was born and raised as a normal Portuguese child, except for the fact that I wasn't born in Portugal. So I'm not doing this interview in Portuguese, and people might be asking that question, can I speak Portuguese? And the answer is yes, I can speak Portuguese, and I speak a lot better Portuguese when I'm there for 2 or 3 weeks. So a couple of years ago, I took a whole month, and my whole family, my 2 little girls, my wife and I, we went to Spain and Portugal. And by the time I came back, I was speaking rather well. And so I'm not comfortable doing an interview in Portuguese, but eu posso entender tudo.
Mais uma história de sucesso de um luso-americano que viajou o mundo e agora tem um papel preponderante numa das maiores empresas do mundo de consultoria e auditoria.